like to for the Ignite conference, like what Den mentioned, it's gonna happen on November 16. But I'd like to let you know, guys, that you have until November 8 as a deadline, 5 p.m. to go to RSVP. This is actually very important because you're gonna learn a lot of different career options and a lot of career that you don't know about. And this is also gonna open to like this is also gonna open your world to the careers that you maybe want to pursue in the future, and you learn about that also, and you're also able to talk to experts on that field that that you lean more into. So like I said, this is also going to be fun, and we're going to make it interactive for you guys. So if you have the time to RSVP now, please to RSVP on the link below. And yep, I'm going to pass it on to Jaspreet. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing today? I see some thumbs up. Any thumbs down? Someone like, tired? No? Great. That's amazing. I like the energy. All right. Anyone remember what we did last week? What we covered last week? No one?
I think I remember us talking about net worth and like how to
That was the week
make
prior.
better.
That was the week prior, but I like that you remember that. That was a good one too.
Sorry.
No worries. I know it's a long time. To me too, I had to go remind myself what topic we covered last week. Anyone remember deep breathing?
It was emotional intelligence, deep breathing, and how to deal with stress.
Yes, yeah, how to deal with stress or how to deal with decision making under stress, right? So I think I hope that class really helped and you are able to apply some of the techniques in your real life. Well, first of all, I hope you don't have a lot of stress going on in your life right now, but hopefully in the future you'll be able to use some of those techniques that we learned in the last session. So today the topic is going to be about battling indecision. So let's throw out the first poll question to people. We're gonna have a couple of poll questions to see where we're at. So the first one is, do you think you're good at decision making? And then I want you to list a current dilemma you have, some decision that you're facing, you're trying to make right now. And let me know whenever the results are ready.
All right, I see 8 or 9 students answering right now, and we still have like 15 more to go.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm guessing the second question really got people thinking about it, and that's why it's taking a while.
That's a great one.
I'm guessing I'm hoping, or well, not hoping, but my guess is one of the recurring themes is going to be maybe applying for a college right now or deciding on a major to pick. But it could be completely, something very simple as, trying to decide what I want to have for dinner, maybe. And that's totally okay too. We can roll with that example as well.
Great one. Only a few more. 5 maybe. All right. Great one.
And will the poll results kind of, you'll share them on the screen? Is that how
Yeah.
it works? Okay.
I'm going to share it on screen.
All right.
All right. So I'm guessing the other person would be me. I can't answer it, and then Jaspreet's one. So there is like one person in here that needs to answer. But I think we're good, Jaspreet, right? 24
Yeah,
hours.
let's go for it. I still answered it though.
All right. Oh, okay, gotcha. I couldn't answer it, so I thought you couldn't also. Let me go ahead and poll and share result. I've never tried this. Oh, sorry.
All right, I see him on the screen. So for the first question, it was, do you think you're good at decision making? 40% of you, 10 out of 25, answered yes. 48% said sometimes, 12 out of 25, and 3 people were straight up no. They don't think they're good at decision making. Well, I'm hoping that we can change the sometimes and no to I think so by the end of this class, or help you, provide, help you with some of the tools that, we normally use in order to make some more complex decisions, right? All the simple ones, it's pretty easy. Sometimes you don't even have to think about it, but it's the more challenging, more complicated situations where you do need sometimes some tools or help. Um, and then there's list a current dilemma you have.
I'm just gonna send
So
the answers to you, Jaspreet, because there's are my, like it's
got
under
it.
the Zoom part, so I'm just gonna send it to you directly.
Okay, one person said, I'm trying to make a decision about whether I should start some homework early, but work late or sleep early for a race I have tomorrow, but do the work later.
Mhm.
Interesting. That's a good dilemma to have. Um, someone said they fear that they regret they might regret the choice that they will make. What colleges to apply to. Ooh, should I still go to practice on Halloween day, or should I continue with the plans I have for Halloween? That's a fun one. I'm trying to decide if I should go to Kawamatsu for college. Tuition is fully paid, but it is in Michigan, and I don't know how much FAFSA will receive. Struggling with college decisions, math class, doing homework, attending the next field trip or not. That's a good one. Become more smart and healthy and understand how the human brain works, and also choose my career for the future. That's a lot going on over there. um, I think we sort of see a theme here, right? It's related to career, next, like immediate future plans for college, perhaps, classes that you're taking, schoolwork, and things like that. I do like the Halloween one. It really depends how much joy that brings you versus whatever you have to practice instead. And if you can make up for it, I guess, later. All right, so I'll put a pin in that for now, and we'll pick up one example like after we go through how to make decisions or what kind of tools you can use in order to make a complex decision at the end of the day. So let's go ahead and start with the PowerPoint presentation for this one, please. And I'll try
right.
and give you guys more time during class to fill out your workbook. I believe there is an electronic submission that you guys can fill out, and I think the link was shared for that earlier in the chat. So we'll try and incorporate the answering of those questions during class as well this time. All right, let's go to the next slide, please. All right, can somebody please read out the where we're headed for me? Not
Where
Omar, somebody else. Omar always reads this. I want someone else to participate. And I like your participation, Omar.
Do I just read all the bullet points?
Yes, please.
Learn techniques to structure options for better outcomes. Master techniques for presenting choices in ways that enhance desired outcomes. Explore how to create environments that naturally guide better decisions. And apply nudge theory to oh, my bad. I'm sorry, I can barely see. My bad.
No, you're doing great.
To influence and improve decision making without restricting freedom of choice.
All right, thanks, Edward. So I hope that after we have gone through all of these techniques, you will learn some of the things. And this one was a good one for me, the nudge theory. And we have an experiment sort of that we'll do. And we kind of went through yesterday, which was really interesting. And, you know, you don't think about it this way, but unless you go through a process like this, you're like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't know I was being influenced to make a decision certain way. You always think like, oh, I thought I have complete freedom of choice, but sometimes there are hints out there, right? Or signs that are thrown in your face, or marketing, for example, is a great example of that, right? Which will try to influence your decision a certain way. So let's go to the next slide. All right, go ahead and take a minute to read through this, and then I want, I'll call out names, and I want to hear your thoughts on something that stood out here. All right, anyone want to share anything that stood out to them in the preview?
I think something that stood out to me in general is that like every decision you make can affect your future, which I think is a big thing to think about because no matter what you do, it affects your future, if that makes sense.
Yes, I think I know exactly what you mean, Zara. And it's a scary thought, right? Sometimes if you stop and think about it, like, oh my God, like, am I making the right choice? If it's gonna have an impact on what's gonna happen in the future, right? For me. So yeah, it is definitely significant. So that's a good one to point out. What about anyone else on the team? How about Julian? Julian Gomez.
Something that stood out to me was the part where it says,
Where's fucking low?
um,
So loud.
what if you could navigate life's choices with confidence, knowing the tools
We're stealing Mookie's glove.
Okay, yeah, I think I heard part of it, which was I don't know if someone else's mic is on, but I'm hearing some background noise. But I think what I heard from you was what if you could navigate life's choices with confidence, knowing you have the tools to steer your path intentionally. So it sort of relates to what Zaira was saying, right? That you know that it's going to impact your future. What if you actually had tools at your disposal and you knew how to use them to intentionally steer your, you know, what you're doing, the decisions you're making to meet the long-term vision or goal that perhaps that you have, right? So anyone else? I need one more person to share their thoughts on this. Or it could be just decision making in general, right? What kind of like stumps you or you want to learn maybe? Go ahead, Omar. I think
One thing I saw that it says that people or environments often blind our decisions from making like good decisions, and I feel like we have to like create a better environment for us to make better decisions. Otherwise, we'll be stuck in that place.
yep, exactly. I think the people that you're surrounded by, right? Sometimes if it's too much of pessimism. So yeah, right. We all know that one person who's always like saying no, or is always sort of pointing out the cautious side of things. Like, what if this happens or that happens, right? If that's the only person or the only type of vibe you're surrounded with, most of your decisions will try to edge that way, right? If you are surrounded by more optimistic and maybe more risk-taking type of individuals, perhaps your decision making subconsciously will start inching that way as well, right? So it really depends what kind of people or friends you surround yourself with, what kind of environment do you surround yourself with. And some of those things you can change, right? So let's go to the next slide. So let's do this. We're going to do this same experiment, right? Is that how are we able to like split it into groups and see who orders what, or should we just can we just like ask everybody?
I think we would need to split them into 2 breakout rooms right now.
Okay, that'd be good. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Dan. Go to one breakout room.
See the orders come in through chat for my room. I was in the salad menu room. Did you see the results on the other side, or
Oh no, I did not go to the other side. They're actually gonna put the results below on the chat right now.
okay,
We're
great.
just, yeah, we're just waiting for that. I think, oh, actually we're waiting for them. They're not done yet.
Oh wow, they're taking a while.
Yeah, it's taking a while.
I hope people aren't thinking they're actually gonna get that delivered right now to them.
Yeah,
They're really taking this very seriously.
yeah. Samaya and Ren is still on the other part. Samaya and Saraya.
It would be nice though.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
Hawaiian burger looked really good on the other one.
All right. I'm just gonna close out the room because I think they're here. Wait a moment.
Okay.
Close. All right. So that's the result right there. For Jaspreet.
Okay. All right, perfect. Thank you so much. So sounds like, so is this for all of them? With the most votes. Okay, so the food with the most vote is chicken salad, 13 votes. Salad with egg is 4 votes, and Cobb salad is 3 votes. That's room 2.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's the one I was in with the salad as the
Yeah.
pictures. And then is the other one ready as well? Oh, there we go. So
There.
chicken burger got 6 votes, cheeseburger got 5 votes, and Southwest burger got 2 votes. An interesting thing that I want to mention. So in my room, it was the menu with the picture of all the salads on there, right? One person did manage to find that there was a cheeseburger and a chicken burger written in very small text underneath the pictures of the salad, right? So shout out to the person who did that. So when we did this experiment yesterday, so Mario, you did that? All right. When we did this experiment yesterday, everyone who had the salad menu in front of them with the pictures of salad, everyone just ordered salad. And when we came back to the main room, people said some of them didn't even realize there were burgers mentioned on the bottom. So both menus were actually identical, except the pictures that were displayed up front. So if we take a look at it, all of the items which are listed text-wise are exactly the same on both menus. The pricing is exactly the same. It's just the pictures which were highlighted up front were different. So do you guys think that might have been the reason why most of you went for that? Did anyone even see the salad options on the burger menu? Yay, nay? Or vice versa, with the salad menu, did you even see there were burgers listed in the other items?
Can you type it on the chat, everyone? Mm.
Nope. Yep. So this is exactly the one person did see the salads on the burger menu. All right. So what would you say was the main factor that contributed to your choice? The pictures, yeah, exactly. Someone just said they like chicken, which is also good. Good reason as well. All right, yeah, I think it's not very hard to tell, right? That it's the visuals. If I see pictures of great looking, very appetizing burgers, I'm definitely going to go for that versus whatever is listed in small text underneath, right? Same with the other side. For the salads, if that's what's highlighted, that's like right in my face, essentially. It's colorful. It looks like it'll be a great choice, a healthy choice, right? And then I might be inclined to go with that, even though there's burgers listed underneath. Also, one factor that I mentioned yesterday was if I went to that place which has burgers highlighted in there and I saw a salmon poke bowl down beneath, I would start doubting, I don't know what the quality of fish will be like over here. So I'm probably going to stick with whatever the specialty is, right? It seems like burgers is a specialty over here. So I'm going to stick with that. So this is a classic example of what we call nudging, right? That was one of the bullets listed in the preview. So this is exactly an example of how businesses or external factors might nudge you to make a certain decision. You had exactly the same choices, right? You had complete freedom of choice to pick whichever item you wanted, and they're exactly the same on both pages. Your decision making kind of got nudged by the visuals on each of the page. So let's go to the next slide. All right. Okay, so identify that there are things that impact your choice and behavior outside of your preferences, right? Sometimes we know exactly what we want, and it's such a strong feeling or gut feeling that that's exactly what we go with. Sometimes maybe it's not as important of a decision, right? So we're more open to whatever information might be around in periphery. Sometimes we are maybe open to what our friends say or family says, right? So these are all different factors which are impacting your choice outside of your own preferences. Can anyone think of an example of a nudge that you all might have experienced in your daily life?
I know that like a year ago when I was choosing my classes, I wanted to take AP statistics for the next year. And when I told my counselor, she's like, "No, you should take honors pre-calc." She would like, try to say that it helps more with the SAT and all that, even though I really wanted to take AP statistics for my own reasons.
So do you think it turned out to be a good choice in the end?
Kind of. I wanted to take an AP class, and she really wanted me to just take honors pre-calc. So I still took pre-calculus, but I took the AP class instead.
I see. Okay. So it was I guess the opinion of a so-called maybe an expert, right? In your mind that all right, strategically, I know you really really want to go towards statistics, but strategically this one might help you better down the road with your SATs. All right. Anybody else? That's a really good one. Thanks, Sakura.
Me personally, I feel like
Oh,
me
go ahead.
personally, like in supermarkets, I usually never look like up or down. I usually just always go for like what's at eye level for me, like because it's too difficult
Exactly.
looking up or down unless I'm looking for a specific thing.
Yep, that is 100% the example I had in mind. Everyone goes to a store, right? You might have gone to a store one point or another during the day. And there's always these things which are, that grabs your attention is what's at eye level. If it's a generic thing you're trying to go out and buy, right? Unless, like you said, Vincent, there's something specific you already had in mind and that's the only thing you want. What about those like candy sort of display right before the register, right? The impulse buying. that's a good one too. So that it's sort of nudging you to like, all right, maybe I want to grab some M&Ms or a gum or whatever else might be sitting over there. So actually companies pay a lot of money. That's like prime real estate, is to put items at eye level. So all of those brands that you see at eye level have probably paid more than the other brands which are up or down. All right, so let's go to the next slide. All right, I think we've gone through the concept of nudging in detail. So this is essentially telling you the same thing. It's the concept of subtly guiding people's choices and behaviors without restricting their freedom of choice. You can grab the item on the upper shelf or the lower shelf, right? But you went with the one that was on eye level. Let's go to the next slide. So how can you apply nudges in your own life? Are there any other examples of nudging, like positive ones that you could think of? Do you all use reminders on your phones sometimes? Alarms maybe to remind you of something. And hopefully it's a good reminder, like a positive one, to maybe go out for a run, go certain time. I think those are all really good examples of nudging. Someone said they use reminders all the time. All right. Let's go. And I think the social circle, I already gave an example earlier. That's a really good one. I think you sometimes really start to, you know, think about, what am I doing this thing or leaning towards this decision or option because somebody else told or said it, even mentioned it, and subconsciously I just picked it? Or is this really what I want? That happens to me a lot when, for example, hanging out with my friends and trying to pick a restaurant. You know, there's usually that one person or two people who are really like, I want to check out this place. And, you know, it's not until you get there you realize, I don't even enjoy this type of food in the first place. I wonder like how we even got dragged into this decision. Someone said for positive ones, it can be like someone giving you a hint to the right direction when you are stuck with schoolwork. That's a really good one. Let's go to the next slide. All right. So actually, can we ask them to fill this out in their workbook at this time? Maybe have them. So everyone go ahead and open the link, the electronic link that was posted in the chat for your workbook. So we're going to work on that during class, like was mentioned earlier. And we're going to take 30 seconds. And Sheila or maybe Jen, you can have me help me with the timer. So we're going to take 30 seconds to answer the first question. So go ahead and start now. All right, someone want to share their top 3 behaviors or decisions that they want to change, but they're finding it challenging to do?
I could share mine first. I put managing my money better, positive self-talk, and better sleeping habits.
Those are all really good examples. And I love that they are all relevant to what we've covered in our discussion so far. And sleeping or going to bed early was my top one too. All right, let's take another 30 seconds and answer the next 2 questions. So the next one is simply you need to circle the one that's the biggest impact on your life. And then the one after, I believe, is about list out all the things you could do to nudge yourself in the right direction for that. So let's start the timer on that now. We'll take 30 seconds to answer those next 2 questions. All right. Anyone want to share what's their the one that they think will have a biggest impact on their life and how you can nudge yourself in the right direction for it?
I can say mine, right?
Sure, go for it.
So one of them I chose was waking up early for school, and I feel like it would have the biggest impact on my life if I changed it. Since I feel like if I were to change that, I would have a lot more time in my hands and um not, feel as tired as I usually am when I get there. And I guess all the things that I could do to nudge my self in the right direction is basically just use a timer or set a reminder to sleep at a specific time.
All right, that's a really good example of using technology to help you as well. I like that example. Why don't we, this is the end of the PowerPoint, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Do you mind playing the video that we had? It's a quick 4-minute video, I believe. And then after that, we'll split into our groups to cover the next 3 questions in the workbook.
All right. Let me go ahead and share my screen now.
There are lots of ways to make a decision. You could flip a coin. You could follow your heart. Or you could just make a choice at random and hope for the best. That's probably okay for small decisions, but what about more important ones? It's better to think carefully about your options and consider the many paths you could take. With the right tools, you can learn to do this objectively, so you can make decisions that you feel good about. Here are some strategies that can help. The first step to making any decision is simple. Identify the problem. As an example, say you're trying to choose between 2 different apartments. One is cheaper, but farther away from work. The other is closer and nicer, but much more expensive. Which one would you choose? Depending on what you value, you probably have some idea. This initial response, the one tied to your instincts and emotions, is perfectly valid. However, you should also try to look at your options rationally. Start by comparing them. There are several ways to do this. For example, you could list all the factors that you're considering, things like price, location, and other amenities, then choose the one thing that's most important to you. With that in mind, which option comes out on top? You could go one step further and create a point system. Take that same list and turn it into a scorecard for each option. In this example, that means apartment 1 would score high on affordable rent, let's say a 10, but much lower on location. Apartment 2 would score about the opposite. Keep going down the list until you've scored every item, being as objective as you can. Then add up the totals, and maybe you have a winner. Looking at it another way, you could evaluate one option at a time with a list of pros and cons. It sounds simple, but sometimes it helps to write these things down. This time, it's okay to be subjective. Certain factors can and should carry more weight than others. It's how you feel about them that counts, so be honest about what these things mean to you. Imagining possible outcomes might give you some perspective on the decision. Say you're thinking about adopting a dog. What do you think the consequences might be in a month? In a year? How about several years from now? Making decisions can be a roller coaster ride, especially when there are long-term consequences to think about. We can't see into the future, but we can try to be prepared. At this point, it's normal to feel overwhelmed, even stuck. With so much to consider, how do you know you're making the right choice? There are 2 more techniques that can help you fire up your brain and trick it into thinking differently. Try this one, the 2-minute diversion. Distract yourself with a 2-minute activity that you find moderately difficult. Maybe you like playing mobile games or solving math problems for fun, whatever works for you. Believe it or not, you'll continue to process the decision unconsciously, according to brain imaging research by Carnegie Mellon University. This brief window of time helps you internalize important details, so you can make better, more insightful decisions. Sometimes it helps to step outside yourself and pretend you're helping someone else. Studies show we're able to think more objectively in third person. That's why it's easier to give advice than it is to receive it. If a friend or family member was struggling with the same decision, what questions would you ask them? What compromises would you suggest? Really think about it. Adopting a different point of view might help you see the situation in a whole new way. Making decisions isn't like taking a test. There are no right or wrong answers per se, it just depends on the situation. Focus on taking the time to think about your options and what you hope to achieve, so you can feel confident about the choices you make. It's not as easy as flipping a coin, but it's worth the extra effort.
All right, thank you for playing that. The one that I really use a lot more in my life is the pro and con list, and then weights, right, to each of the options that, in terms of what they bring to the table for me, or maybe detract from it. So I hope that helped somewhat in terms of, helping out in terms of tools that you have at your disposal to make a decision. I'm pretty sure most of you already knew about pro and con list. And I hope that, maybe you can apply this towards those undecided college majors. What degree should I pursue? Is this something that'll get me a job right after, right? Maybe you're trying to gain some financial independence and that's the perspective you're thinking from, or that's something that weighs the most right now. Or maybe it's something, is this something that's for me long term? Do I really enjoy this thing? Am I going to enjoy this line of work later down the road? Is it meaningful to me, right? Does it actually give me a sense of purpose? And I highly, highly encourage you to go to this career fair event that we're going to have, because then you have a chance to talk to someone who's actually in that field about anything you might be curious about, right? You can ask them about, what is your day-to-day work life, right? What do you actually do? Do you just answer emails all day? Do you research stuff? Are you talking to different people? So anything that comes to your mind about any field that you're curious about, go ask them, right? They're there for you. That's exactly why they're there, is to answer any of your questions. And no question is stupid, trust me. All right, so let's go to the breakout rooms, and we'll be there till 6:04 and try to answer the remaining 3 questions in the workbook.
Jen, where's the breakout room? Go ahead. Thank you. Okay, welcome back. Let me close the rooms now. All right, welcome back.
Thank you. I like that I was able to actually go into another room and hear some of the discussion that was taking place in Den's breakout room. That was really good to observe.
Yeah. I was actually leading the other room with Ren also, and they all shared a lot of different good stuff also, Jaspreet. So
There's a round of applause. A literal round of applause.
Yeah. I think having small breakout rooms with kind of a lead VAs or alumni would be really great to like, engage with them and talk to them. So it's great. I'm not so sure why the camera
Yeah.
guys are not open. Is there any problem? Can you guys, Omar, is there any problem in opening your camera? Because I think a while ago, a student chatted and said they are not able to open it because of our system. Not so sure. It's disabled. Yeah, see, it's disabled. Oh, they can't open it, Jaspreet.
It worked for me. I opened
Oh,
it.
there we go. Now I see
Oh yeah,
people
now
popping
it's
up.
working. Thank you. Yeah, a while ago it didn't work for them. There are students like who sent me a message, so I'm just so glad it worked now. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. It's
There
nice.
we go.
All right.
All right, so I hope in conclusion, those were some good tips or ideas for you guys to implement. I'm hoping it was, something that you want to try and implement in your next decision making exercise, whether it's to decide which major you want to, take or which college you want to go to, right? I think with that, we will go ahead and end the discussion for this topic over here. Next week, we're going to talk about banking and loans and credit cards. So I know that was a really good hot topic when we had that discussion last time about managing money. So I'm really looking forward to the next session because I think it is so much more directly applicable, right, to your lives as well. So bring on your questions next time. I like them. With that, I will hand it back to Sheila and the team to see if they have any other announcements. And please, please, please try to show up to the career event. I think it'll be a really good one for all of you, especially as you're deciding which major and what career choices to make, right? And ask them as many questions as you want. Don't be shy.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it on to Dan. Go ahead, Dan.
Thank you, Jaspreet, for this class. Thank you guys for attending. So quick announcement again for this week. Your workbooks and surveys will be the links will be deactivated at exactly 5 p.m. on Friday, but we really encourage you guys to submit today or at least tomorrow so that you don't have to think about submitting for the rest of the week. And then we have an upcoming field trip, which is the Ignite Conference field trip, which will happen on November 16, 2024. And Sheila will send in the link to RSVP. You have until November 8th to submit your RSVP. Um, we'd really encourage you guys to attend the field trip because there you can meet a lot of professionals in different all walks of life. You will have the chance to connect, ask questions, and get inspired for your future with different types of work, kinds of work. And you can also ask them anything that you'd like to learn more about their careers. So that's it for me. I'm passing it to Sheila.
Hey, thank you, Dan. So I'd just like to add additional information again for the field trip. Like I said, guys, this is really going to be great for you because you'll learn a lot of different careers that you did not know about. You'll also learn to make better career choices, and you'll also talk to those experts on those fields that you'd like to lean more into. So I really do hope that you guys are going to this field trip. This is going to be great. We're gonna make it fun for you also, so you won't feel bored the whole thing, like listening to conference and stuff. So we're gonna make it fun for you. So please sign up now, and I've already put the link below, and we hope to see you there, even though I'm not gonna be there, but we still hope to see you there. All right, I think that's it for me. Thank you, Jaspreet, for such a great class, and thank you everyone for coming in. See you next week, and turn in your workbook and survey. Bye for now.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Take care.
Take care. Bye. Bye, Omar. Bye, Mario. Bye, Vincent. All right. That was a great one.